Hello, my name is Justin Barlow, and welcome to another episode of Top 10. Well, today, I kind of want to do a short video. It's not that I'm lazy, well, kinda, but today I just decided to do a top 5 episode, where basically I tell you, today I'm going to be talking about five movies that actually happened in history. They're based on true stories, something like that. Coming in at number 5 is the 2006 movie Invincible, and basically what it's about is a football player named Vince Papale, or it's Papale. Some people call it like that, but either way, Papale, or it's said different ways, but basically is about a 30-year-old bartender is about to become the NFL's most unlikely rookie. Basically, it's about him, and he's always been a Philadelphia Eagles fan most of his life, and he's 30 years old, and this is when the Eagles only won like 4 games each season. So they decided to hold open tryouts. Over 2,000 people came, and Vince Papale was the only one who got accepted to training camp. But the weird thing is, he's the only person to ever not go to college to play NFL. He only had 1 year of high school and 0 years of college. But what I love about this movie, it's based on a true story, and he played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and which was really cool. Coming in at number 4 is, I can't really say that word, but Inventus. I can't really say it that well, but basically it's about, it's a Clint Eastwood movie, and it's about Morgan Freeman. He plays Nelson Mandela, who was the president of South Africa for a while. And basically, you kind of know the story of Nelson Mandela. Spent 20 years in prison and then became the president of South Africa. And shortly died in 2014. He was 95, and his story is told all over the world, and he's considered a national hero. Moving on to number 3 is this takes place in 1970 and 71. The hit story We Are Marshall, which is basically about this coach named Jack LaGale, who coached at a high school, and now he coaches for Marshall University because of Marshall University. Their varsity football team lost 75 members, staff, faculty, and players, in total of 75, and only 3 members of the varsity team survived. Now, Jack LaGale takes a head coaching job and decides to try to rebuild the team. And it turns out pretty good, but the season that Jack LaGale taught, they only won 2 games. And they kept losing really badly. But they topped it with 8 conference titles, 5 straight bowl wins, and 2 national championships. Marshall University is like the greatest football story of all time. I like it. And in case you didn't know, Jack LaGale, he's in the Hall of Fame. He's still alive to this day. And it's a great story, so I recommend checking it out. And number 2 is The Express, which is basically the Ernie Davis story. If you didn't know who Ernie Davis was, he is basically the first African American to play. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. He is the first African American to win the Heisman Trophy. He played for Syracuse Orangemen, and he was pretty good, to me. What makes him so inspiring is he was first black man to win the Heisman Trophy, and what was cool about it, kind of tragic, he made the All-American team and wanted to play for the Cleveland Browns, like his inspiration, Jim Brown. But unfortunately, he developed leukemia and died at the age of 23. 23, yeah. Which is kind of sad. So look it up. And he also got to meet the President of the United States at the time, was John F. Kennedy. And basically, you can look it up, watch the movie, and it's good in my opinion. It's a good football movie. Coming in at number 1, and remember, these are in my opinion. If you have a different history story that you like to tell, just tell me. Comment at the bottom, and don't forget to subscribe. Was The Butler. Well, it's directed by, I know it says Lee Daniels the Butler, but it was directed by Lee Daniels. Basically, it's about this butler named Cecil Gangs, but I don't know what his real name was. But you can look him up, and it'll say a White House butler. Basically, he was a butler who tried to help in racism, except and basically black people were getting beat up at the time and a lot of stuff like that. But what was upsetting was, how black people were treated back then. But the weird thing about it was he was also a butler for 7 years. He served Eisenhower. Was President Eisenhower, and he served every president all the way through Ronald Reagan. And then in 2008, it's kind of tragic, but in 2008, he actually ends up starting his campaign for help elect Obama into office in the 2008 election. So basically, Obama ends up winning, and unfortunately, the day before the election, and before I get to that, I missed a few things, but while he was serving in the White House, unfortunately, his youngest son died in the Vietnam War. And so, all that's left is his oldest son, him and his wife. Unfortunately, his wife dies a day before Obama is elected into office. He's so excited. He has this tie that John F. Kennedy gave him. He decides to wear it, and he is invited by President Obama to come meet him in the White House. And at the end, what I love is, they take parts of speeches that previous presidents have made. First, it's like a piece of a speech that Kennedy, then L. Johnson, and then Obama, and it kind of makes a pretty cool speech. And I actually have it written down right here. Okay, here it is.